Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and you're listening to Sunny's Livestream on Instagram. If you want to ask questions and chat more with me, don't forget to follow my Instagram and look forward to more upcoming live streams. Let's define toxic relationships. A toxic relationship is one where you experience abuse, both physical and emotional. You feel incredibly stressed and exhausted when you're with them, feeling like you're just getting worse. Physical abuse goes without saying. You absolutely shouldn't stay with anyone who hurts you. People who hit others. Honestly, you need to reevaluate your feelings. I see so many girls who get beaten by their boyfriends repeatedly but still stay with them. What on earth are you thinking? Seriously, but I truly feel for you, I really do, because you might not realize it, but it's genuinely harmful. It's truly toxic. If someone truly loves you, they wouldn't hit you. If they say they hit you because they love you, then they probably haven't truly matured, nor do they have empathy or compassion for you. Don't you agree? Can money compensate for being hit? Let me ask you this, seriously. Is money that important to you? For example, if someone slaps you, then gives you 10 million VND, would you accept that? What do you think? Money is important, right? Oh, exactly. But I think it can never be something placed above your self-respect. Guys, I have a friend who set the criteria that her partner must be wealthy. And that's totally normal. I think that's perfectly fine, no problem at all. It's a valid preference. But if you only love someone because they have money, then maybe we need to pause and think, right? The feeling of having money in your hand is incredibly powerful and makes you very confident, I'm telling you. But that money has to be your own asterisk money, not someone else's. Holding someone else's money doesn't give you that same security. Regardless of whose money it is, as you grow older, you'll realize relationships are complex, and money is one of those complexities. So, prepare yourself, equip yourself with a solid foundation. Hold your own money in your hands, be confident, and fear no one. I'll probably talk a lot about money issues these days. People say birds of a feather flock together, so if you want to marry a rich husband, you yourself should be rich. Actually, that's not necessarily true. It's not just about money, it's about many things. It's not that a rich girl will only meet a rich man, or a rich man will only meet a valuable girl. Two people have to see value in each other, and that's what birds of a feather flock together really means. Each person's value isn't just about money, guys. Someone just discovered BTS recently, but Sunny is like a long-time army. Honestly, you know that when I publicly announce that I like someone, it means I've already researched almost everything about them. Of course, not 100%, but I'm probably like a very long-time army, guys. I've researched them very carefully before drawing any conclusions. You can't draw conclusions before you start researching, right? Someone mentioned a boyfriend who flirts with other girls but not his own girlfriend. Oh, there are people like that? When I get upset, he calls me selfish and unreasonable, but he pays attention to other girls. The girl you're talking about, you should probably just get rid of him. When a guy likes a girl, he pays a lot of attention to her. So don't say it's because he's not sensitive or thoughtful. No, it's because he doesn't love you. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. He doesn't truly, truly love you. As girls, being gentle and soft is necessary, but we also need to have standards and understand our own worth. If we understand our worth, we'll know when someone takes us for granted, and then we'll choose to leave, right? How to stop being afraid of your boss? Honestly, between a boss and an employee, there needs to be a certain distance out of respect. You can't talk to your boss like you're equals, like calling them you and me if you're the same age. Absolutely not. There must be a certain distance so they respect you. In workplace relationships, I always maintain a certain distance out of mutual respect, never getting *2 close. Being reasonably friendly is okay. I think you're doing a good job at work. Did Hyundai only play Suga's song from BTS? Is it Suga's lullaby? No, okay. Now let's analyze BTS a little bit. Honestly, if I had to choose just one person, it would be very difficult. The care, respect, and admiration I have for all 7 of them are equal. Everyone has something interesting to learn from, something good to emulate. And truthfully, none of the 7 are perfect, guys, but they complement each other, they balance each other out, and they never stop. They're always striving to improve, always trying to perfect themselves. But in terms of a type based on personality, because actually, when you see a star on screen, it's different from seeing them in everyday life. You only see what's presented. In reality, they have to live and adapt their personalities. For famous people, there are certain expectations when they stand before an audience, so they'll have different personas. But if I had to pick someone whose personality truly matches my ideal type for a boyfriend, it would be Suga. I want an older brother like Jin, an older brother like J-Hope. But if I want a boyfriend with a certain personality, it's Suga. Do you want me to share a bit about Suga's personality? What do I think about the saying? If you want success, prioritize success in your youth. What is success? Everyone's definition of success is different, right? If my success means being number one in my career, for example, then we'll definitely prioritize work more. We won't have much time for dating. It's possible to do both simultaneously, guys, but balancing both requires two people to be very understanding of each other, because we can't prioritize both things at once. I still like Suga, the inventor, right? Okay, so some of you might know who Suga is and some might not, but I'll analyze someone here. Let's say I'm analyzing the image of a man I really, really like. Suga grew up being very hardworking, guys. Back in 2011-2012, when the company was going through a tough time, he was the one who worked many part-time jobs to earn money. Because his parents didn't support him pursuing his passion and career, but he truly decided to follow what he wanted and chase his dreams. Of course, this applies to all members of BTS, right? There's a lot to say about Suga, but I'll start with his part-time jobs. Essentially, I like a hardworking man, not someone who just sits around and waits. He's always been incredibly hardworking. And because he broke his shoulder in an accident while delivering things back then later, when a delivery person was bringing him food, that day it was raining. The day he had his accident in 2012, it was also raining. And today, even as a famous star, when a delivery person was shipping something to him, he wrote in the delivery request section, "It's raining today, so it's okay if you're a little late. Please drive carefully." Honestly, I don't even know what to say about someone like Suga. Truly, when Suga has so many things in his hands, as I've said before, money doesn't change us. It only clarifies our character. Even when he's at a different level, he never forgets his past self and empathizes with those who were once in his shoes. Actually, the reason I like Suga is that before, I didn't pay attention to him specifically in the group or among all the people. For example, if you enter a classroom, you'll naturally pay more attention to the most prominent person, right? If we're talking about appearance, Suga isn't the most prominent person in that group. He's not the tallest. In fact, he's the shortest, the smallest. He has small, pretty, smiling eyes, but I never really noticed them before. Until I watched more of their daily lives. You just see what's shown, but I've watched almost everything, guys. He's not the type to outwardly express his emotions, but he's an extremely emotional and profound person. He's very deep and considerate of others down to the smallest details. But he also has flaws, guys. I can see his flaws, but I think everyone has flaws that complement each other, right? His flaw is that he doesn't socialize much. He doesn't have many friends. He's not the type of person who easily makes friends. He's the type who stays with people for a long time, but he always needs others. He's not someone who lives independently. Suga really needs other people. To him, BTS is everything. He said that before. And honestly, when it comes to his passion for music, Suga has an immense passion for music. He really loves making music. No matter what, Suga isn't someone who cares too much about how he appears on TV. He doesn't care. Even though it's his job, he definitely does his best. For example, when he first joined the group, he was tricked into thinking he wouldn't have to dance or do anything other than make music. But later, he had to dance and do other things, even songs that weren't related to hip-hop, far from what he wanted. Yet, he still tried his best to do everything as well as possible, but he always prioritized music the most. If you pay attention, even in their daily actions, for example, in reality shows like in the SOOP or Bon Voyage, he doesn't care about going on screen, he just cares about what everyone will eat today. In short, there's still a lot more to say, but for now, that's just a little bit. Someone said they thought Suga was my husband. I think I'm analyzing based on personality, person to person, guys. As for Suga and BTS, they are truly admirable and respectable people. And as for calling him my husband, that's just me joking around. But if I analyze his personality, I find him to be a very mature person, very psychologically sound. When you're with someone like Suga, you won't get hurt, guys. But I believe that in the past, he lost a lot of things, and that's why he's become this way now. A man who has lost a lot, who has gone through many things, perhaps losing someone he loved or something else, he will cherish things very much. Especially a type like Suga, who tends to be quite private because he doesn't know too many people and doesn't want to expand his relationships too much. He truly needs familiar people by his side. He genuinely needs the members of BTS. There are so many things that contribute to BTS's success. We cannot deny their achievements because their current successes have already made history. They've created Korean history. But the most important thing is the spirit of the 7 members, how they live together. Many groups, if they have 5 members, they only have the strength of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5. Many groups only have the strength of 7 members, 9 members, 12 members, 34 members, but this group's strength isn't just 7 people. It's 7 to the power of 7 asterisk. Their strength is incredible because they complement each other, guys, and they strive together. They weren't perfect from the start. Someone watched BTS's UN interview yesterday, and it wasn't that peak. Actually, the interview itself wasn't the peak. The peak was that they were asterisk invited to the event. That's what's truly amazing. Of course, interviews are thoroughly prepared beforehand. What do you guys think? It'll probably be a very long time before there's another group like this. You asked me to analyze V, so here's what I want to say. V is a very attractive man, but I'd only admire him from afar. He's not the type of person I'd marry, based on his personality. I'm not talking about V as a person, but about that type of personality. I wouldn't marry someone with V's personality, guys, but V is truly captivating, so magnetic, and he really knows his strengths. He's incredibly captivating on stage. Of course, I can't say I truly understand him since I don't interact with him outside, but when you watch shows, there are things you simply can't hide. What do I think about Jimin? Jimin is someone truly worth observing. Jimin from his debut to now is incredibly different. Jimin is the kind of friend Sunny would really want to have, very refined, very good at conversation. Jimin is the best at talking, he knows how to comfort others. He's very understanding and really knows how to communicate. If we're talking about talent and effort, all 7 members are extremely talented and hardworking, absolutely. Jimin is always a perfectionist. That means Jimin gets very stressed because he always wants to be the most perfect. He wants that because he wants to be professional and worthy of what the fans have given him. As a result, he sometimes puts a lot of pressure on himself. He often blames himself. You guys are very smart, but you know your place. Did I say Tyne Kaimin? Oh, sorry guys, I tend to read things in an English way, but if it's written Jimin, I'd say Jimin. If it's pronounced Jimin in Korean, I'd say Jimin. RM is a very gentle person, he's a perfect leader. Do you know why? Oh no, I shouldn't speak like I know everything. I'll just say this is my personal feeling. I can't speak as if I completely understand. RM is a perfect leader because he has a low ego. A leader with a high ego will destroy the group. RM is an extremely gentle but also incredibly intelligent person, and he knows how to elevate others. He's also very good at handling pressure. He's good at managing stress and maintaining good perspectives, as well as keeping a good distance. Earlier, I talked about bosses and employees. A leader isn't a boss, but a leader has greater responsibilities to bear. So, he also has to maintain very good relationships with all the other members at an appropriate level. That's very difficult, but RM does it exceptionally well. I talk about him so much. Oh no, you guys will throw stones at me. Sorry guys, this is Sunny's personal feeling. Sunny really likes analyzing other people's psychology, guys. I really love analyzing others. It's not just guesswork. At first, when I just started following them, my feelings were different. But after watching for a long time, watching a lot, reading a lot, I even read all the old Bangtan blogs, guys. Jungkook and everyone else already covered it all. You want me to talk so much, but I don't know if time is running out. It's almost 10 p.m., guys, so maybe next time, okay? Next time then. Sunny thinks this. Every person we meet has something for us to learn. Honestly, when they're so famous, of course, I recognize their fame. But I also realize they're just normal people, guys. And at some point, they'll stop this journey and live their own lives. I'm sure that's how it will be. I know you'll be very sad when one day you no longer see your idols appear, but actually by then, you'll have your own lives, and you won't be overly sad anymore. You won't have such intense emotions as you do now. Feelings will gradually become more natural. But I feel that later on, they'll need their own lives, guys. They'll need their own happiness. This is their work, and so we should support them as much as we can. You'll learn many lessons from them, guys. When I look at them, I feel like, if only I had grown up in such a team for a long time, so I could perfect myself even more. I even envy their affection for each other. I envy the fact that they can strive together. Because honestly, I mostly work independently. I do everything independently. So having a harmonious group is very difficult, guys. But overcoming that difficulty leads to better self-improvement. That's why we have the saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You want me to analyze Jungkook? Oh my god, how do I even analyze him? 20 million views on Livestream and his influence is undeniable. From the very beginning, he was one of BTS's aces, and he does an excellent job as the center. He never stops, always cultivating and learning. Everyone is like that, but because Jungkook holds the center position, he also had to perfect his dancing and singing, maintaining his stage presence. His vocals are excellent, his high notes are beautiful. And in real life, he's completely different from on stage. On stage, he's very charming, sexy, masculine, and captivating. But in real life, he's a bunny. He's truly like a cute, pure bunny in real life, and everyone adores him. I think he's too young to talk about personality, very obedient and innocent. He's probably less innocent now because he's experienced more, but he's very adorable. You know, when I mention Jungkook, I call him a term for someone younger, so you know. He's younger than me, but on stage, he's so manly, right? Do you know that Jungkook was the one who brought me to BTS? Not because of his looks, but because of a song. It was Stay With You. Then I found out it was Jungkook's. Jungkook, who is BTS? And then, oh, so this is him. Jungkook is someone who sings in this group and has a song like this. And then I found out he wrote it himself. You know, an artist who can both sing and compose is someone I really admire. That's why I also like Vu Cat Chuang in Vietnam. There are quite few people who can both sing and compose. That's why I really like Vu Cat Chuang. Vu Cat Chuang is a true artist. Wow, Jungkook composed that song. Oh, it started from there, guys. Then I started to learn more and more. When I like something, it's hard for me to hide it, guys. Almost all my stories at that time were about Stay With You. And after that, when I researched, I think many of you might share my opinion. You might be impressed by the Maknae line, the three youngest, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. But when you delve deeper, the Hayoung line, older members, are the ones who make a strong impression. The personality I wish I had most is J-Hope's and Jin's. Those personalities aren't something you can force, they're inherent in a person, guys. RM writes such amazing lyrics. Guys who read a lot are like that. You fall in love with people like that, guys. You fall in love with guys who read like that. Suga. Well, no need to say more. If I didn't want to talk about it, I could have said it today, but I won't repeat myself. If you want to listen, Sunny's podcast has that previous live stream recorded. But today's live stream, I probably won't record it because I reviewed too many cosmetics. Jin is. Well, at first, I just thought Jin was handsome. I didn't pay much attention, and Jin always played around and made jokes. But after researching, Jin's personality is that of someone who grew up in a very happy family, guys. You understand the feeling I'm talking about, right? Jin's family must have truly pampered and loved him for him to have that innocence. Jin is also the one who misses his mom the most and talks to his mom the most. That's why I say family relationships are so important. I'm not saying the other members aren't happy, but the level of connection in Jin's personality is unmatched. And I also think Jin will be the first one to get married. Just my guess, guys, please don't throw stones at me. I'm just talking about personality. Usually, people with that kind of personality get married first. And you can see that when fans chat and say, Jin Oppa, marry me, he always says no. Others might joke around, but he doesn't. Jin is very good at dispelling negative energy. You know, within the group, Jin is one of the ones who endured the most pressure, guys. Why? Because when he debuted, Jin only had a handsome face. Before that, he wasn't someone who had already trained in singing or dancing. But you can see that even now, when you watch On or whatever song it is, he's completely different. And Jin doesn't show his struggles or pressure to the group, he just diligently practices. That's the personality trait that impresses me the most, guys. He doesn't want to burden others, he just focuses on training and putting in effort. So don't think Jin is always playing around and joking. Jin is truly. Oh, I called him and Jin just now. I apologize to all of you. Brother Jin, I'm sorry, you're older than me. Why did I call you that? I apologize, Jin, worldwide handsome. J-Hope, well, no need to talk about J-Hope. He's already the most outstanding, the best of the best. You probably know that J-Hope was also the one who, initially, was the core of the group, along with RM, right? But J-Hope was the first BTS member to officially be on stage in Jo Kwon's song. J-Hope participated as a rapper and singer. J-Hope is very professional, and the members also say he's the group's vitamin. He's someone who is always grateful for life, guys. Someone who, well, there will be times when he feels tired because he's also very strict with himself. Professional people are like that. They're strict with themselves and strict with others. Have I ever been to a concert? Sorry, guys, I only got to know about them about 3 months ago, so I haven't been to a concert yet. I've only been following them like this. The important thing isn't how long you've known them, whether you're new or old. The important thing is * how we research. Do you know what I usually research about a person? What do I research? I don't just research their songs. No, I have to look at the song's message, the release time, the composition time, who wrote the lyrics, why they wrote them. I read all the old blogs from before they became Bangtan Sonyeondan. What was their predecessor? Who were their predecessors? If it was a different group, but those people had already left. I mean, there's so much more. How Suga was recruited, when J-Hope was recruited, how each person was recruited, how they were trained. Of course, I don't know everything *. I don't know everything *. I just research. Where do I find this information? Oh my god, there's so much, guys. You can find it in both English and Vietnamese. If you search in Vietnamese, you'll find some, but in English, there's a lot more. There's English content and Korean too. I'm curious. I'm curious why they could become so successful. You know, there's so much talent in Korea. And handsome guys, oh my god. If they can overcome the beauty of so many others, why are they so successful? I research, guys. I research this case seriously, guys. You can see that being handsome and talented isn't everything. They're handsome and talented, but there are other things too. Honestly, I see it's almost 11 p.m. and you're all still here listening to me. Should I keep talking? I was just saying I'd probably go to bed late tonight. It's been so long since I've had such a fun conversation. Earlier, I said I wouldn't consider V as a boyfriend, right? Sorry, guys, but it's not about dating. V's personality is like the wind, always flying. V has a lot of relationships, and he's the type who makes friends easily. That's his strength. And he's also very emotional and sensitive. But I'm very similar to V in that I love hugging people, being affectionate, and all that. But the reason V and I wouldn't work is because we have many similarities. Two winds cannot be together. Sunny is analyzing personality types here. Recently, a few days ago, I took a personality test, and my personality type is one of the rarest in the world, less than 1%. Let me check what it is. Two winds cannot intertwine, two winds can only fly away. INFJ, the advocate, that's my personality type. And it's so true. If you love someone with V's type of personality, you'll be so happy. You'll experience the peak of joy and happiness. But that would be different from loving someone like Suga. And if you're at the peak of happiness, you can also hit the bottom of despair. And personally, I've gone through that period of time to confirm these things. Currently, I prefer stability and safety. That's why I chose Suga, because Suga is mature enough to have a certain solidity. But loving someone with V's personality would be very interesting. I'm just talking about personality types, not making any claims about V or anything like that, guys. V is truly too beautiful, too captivating on stage. On stage, V is absolutely stunning. He knows his strengths. While others might simply perform beautiful movements, V's movements have an alluring power, a soul in them. V is special, and honestly, I'm a little surprised that Big Hit Entertainment had such vision. How could they spot a poor farm boy who only accompanied his friend to an audition and only went with his friend? How could they see someone with such potential? I still wonder why V could be so successful now, and why BTS could be so successful now. A large part of it also comes from the company, Big Hit. Bang PD has an incredibly profound vision. Why could they see a farm boy? It couldn't just be because of his looks, because back then, V wasn't necessarily that * handsome. How could they see it? Because V has developed so much compared to 2013, from his vocals to everything else. They're truly good at spotting talent. Jimin, I've already talked about him earlier. If you want to listen, go to the podcast, it's already there. Before, I talked about Jimin, Suga, Jungkook, RM, and I've already talked about Jungkook. I don't have too much more on Jungkook. Actually, Jungkook's weakness is that he doesn't express his emotions. The members have probably shared this in a few shows, meaning that during the most difficult times, he kept his feelings very hidden. His closest, Hyung in the group, is probably V. Actually, you might think that all 7 members of a group love each other, right? But to confide and share everything, people usually only get close to one person, guys. That's usually how it is. Meaning, one person to confide in and talk to. For example, imagine 2 people talking to each other. Adding a third person makes it difficult. Personally, I also feel that I might have many close friends, but if I need to confide, I'll confide in one person, talk to one person. And there are times when Sunny, because I watched the video where RM and the Hyungs said, "You don't open up," and that makes us very sad. But looking closely, I'm sure Jungkook has changed a lot now. That's also a lesson for all of us, isn't it? Sometimes we keep things to ourselves, thinking we can overcome them, but sometimes it just makes us more stressed and tired. So sometimes we just need to open up a little, and there will always be someone ready to listen to us, guys. After following BTS and learning about them, actually, it's not just V for anyone I'm interested in. I research a lot of things. From when they were born to their parents, their siblings, how they grew up, how they entered their passion, how they pursued their careers, what choices they made for a group, what their products are like, how they composed during certain periods. I've learned so many lessons. Someone said, Jimin has a burning gaze. And yes, Jimin is liked by both male and female fans. Jimin is very, very good. Actually, Jimin is one of the most thoroughly trained members because Jimin was the top student entering the Busan High School of Arts, I believe. And you understand, that's incredible, amazing. And Jimin was also one of the last to join, only about a year, maybe a year and a half. I don't quite remember. Like Epiphany. Actually, you guys name any song and I'll know it. Trong Mo is in my dream, I guess. The lyrics are so good. Love yourself, love myself, peace. You guys are really funny, so incredibly cute. It's so funny. Someone asked, sister, have you watched Run BTS yet? I've watched almost all of it, but there are still quite a few episodes and compilations I haven't seen. But Run BTS is mostly games, it doesn't talk much about each person's emotions. But for individual emotions, you have to watch Festa, Burn the Stage, Bring the Soul. They've released season 2 for some already. Oh, and Bon Voyage is definitely worth watching. Bon Voyage is so good. There are so many things like Memories, Jin's Kitchen, and so on. Why am I staying up late? Because of you guys. Who would be my best friend? That's so hard. My best friend in the group. Maybe J-Hope or Jimin. But most of all, that's hard. J-Hope or Jimin then. Let's continue choosing. Jimin is very emotional. I don't know why I always imagine that, but J-Hope would help me be more professional. Jimin is my age, so Jimin would be reasonable, makes sense. But J-Hope? Let's just go with J-Hope then. All of them are great people. Would RM be a best friend? No, RM is more suited to be an older brother. RM is more like an older brother than a best friend. RM isn't the type of person who... Well, RM is better suited to be someone who gives advice to others. Can I choose you? Oh, I'm just listing them all, choosing them all. Actually, I don't really have the right to choose, guys. I only have the right to support and cheer them on. So adorable. Where did you buy your M50 camera? Oh no, I forgot the name of the camera store. Okay, I think it's getting late now. Even though many of you are still watching, you're staying up late. Sunny really likes to speak Vietnamese. Around me, no one likes BTS, so I feel incredibly lonely. That's why I'm sitting here talking so much about BTS. I invited my best friends, who I've been friends with for 15 years, and you know what they said. If you pay for everything, we'll go to the concert with you. Isn't that terrible? Such amazing friends, idol-worthy. But then I'd be utterly lonely, guys. It turns out many people are lonely living far from home. Many people are also trying hard. So I'm just sharing my true feelings with you, why hide anything? But honestly, I feel so relieved to have finally spoken it out, guys. I genuinely don't know who's listening, maybe even my family. But honestly, now that I've said it, it's out there. Thank you, guys. Your listening is truly wonderful today. That's all I wanted to say.